like a tree that's planted by the waters. I shall not be moved. Shall not be. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. I shall not be moved. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Waycast. We are in Acts chapter 18 tonight, and we are continuing the second missionary journey of Paul in Corinth, Apollos in Ephesus, and we begin with the section verse 1. We are still on the second missionary journey of Paul. He is in Athens, along waiting for Timothy and Silas to come and join him and to bring reports from the churches in Berea and Thessalonica. After his missionary thrust in Athens, Paul goes on his journey to Corinth. The ministry of Paul at Corinth. Verse 1. And after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth. I have made the trip from Athens to Corinth by bus, and that is J. Vernon McGee. I'm reading from his commentary, and this is volume 4. Thank you, Chad, for my son, for volume 4. I have 3 sets of J. Vernon McGee's commentaries, and this is the only volume 4. Apparently it belonged to Aunt Donna's husband, and came by way of Chad. And so this is Jay Vernon talking. It would take a long time to walk that distance, although it would be a beautiful walk. I enjoyed the scenery more since I was writing than I would have if I had been walking. I assure you, it goes past the site where the Battle of Salamis was fought at sea. This is where the Persian fleet was destroyed. There are other historic places along the way before arriving to Corinth. In our study of the epistle to the Corinthians, we will see the reason Paul wrote as he did to the believers at Corinth. For now, let us say that the city of Corinth was probably the most wicked city of that day. It was the Hollywood or the Las Vegas of the Roman Empire. It was the place where you could go to live it up. Sex and drink and all other sensual pleasures were there. In Corinth today, one can see the remains of a great Roman bath. This is where they went to sober up. In the distance is the temple that was dedicated to Aphrodite or Venus, in which there were 1,000 so-called Vestal virgins. They were anything but virgins. They were prostitutes. Sex was a religion. Corinth was one of the most wicked cities of the day, and probably like Hollywood today, with P. Diddy. They probably were underage, and that's why they were considered virgins, but they were prostitutes. Also, there were 2 tremendous theaters there. People came from all over the empire to the city of Corinth. Paul came to Corinth on his second missionary journey and again on his third journey. I believe it was there where Paul had one of his most effective ministries. It is my judgment that in Corinth and in Ephesus, Paul had his greatest ministries. Ephesus was a religious center. Corinth was a sin center. Both cities were great commercial centers, and I always thought he liked Ephesus probably the most because he kind of, but he had to write 2 letters to Corinth, and they were trouble. Now, notice what Paul does on his first visit to Corinth.